Welcome back to another episode of Around the World. This is episode 18 as we continue to move along this NBA season. We have a full length episode in terms of week. We went Monday all the way up until Friday, but it is going to be a shorter episode because we really don't have much to talk about. It was just NBA Cup pretty much throughout the week. The games yesterday weren't all that crazy, so all we really got to talk about is the NBA Cup and, of course, the topic of the video, which is my early award predictions. As always, we start with our community question to you guys, and today it is going to be following the exact title of what I did. What are your award predictions? You can do one award, MVP, DPOY. You can just give me all of your predictions for all of the awards that I'm going to talk about in this video. But I just want to know. I just want to know what you guys think, right? Because we're going to disagree. Honestly, I think there's going to be a couple things that we're going to agree on. There's a couple things that it's just like it's going to be undisputed, but there's also going to be awards like, say, MIP Six Man of the Year that I think we are going to have a little bit of disagreeing on. So let's make sure we let's make sure you guys comment and we can go ahead and have a little bit of debate. If you guys comment down below, I am going to comment right back at you and give you more reasoning as to why I picked one person over the other. So let's get right on into it. My most undisputed pick so far this season is the MVP, and it's not particularly close, and that's just going to Nikola Jokic. It's that easy. It really is. Let's double check at the stats here, because it's genuinely one of the best seasons I've ever seen offensively. It's just absolutely ridiculous. 32 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists on the year. If I'm not mistaken, he's leading in rebounds on the year, and he has a chance to lead in assists on the year. Let me double check, see if he's got some bold on Basketball Reference. Yeah, he's leading in rebounds on the year, averaging 32 points, which is by far a career high. He's never averaged 30. He's actually never even averaged 28. And he's averaging 32 right now. He also has 10.2 assists, which I'm assuming puts him real close to that top of the assist ladder. So, I mean, how can you debate against that? He's shooting 50% from three. He's shooting 56% from the field overall, which is actually not one of his best seasons. Not quite statistically as good as he has been in some recent seasons, but that's just because he's taking more shots. And if he could stay healthy, he's going to meet the game threshold. The Nuggets are actually going to be pretty good. Now, obviously, they're not going to be, it appears that they're not going to be as good as they have been in the last few years, but Jokic is going to be extremely dominant. So this is one of the seasons where if Jokic had a season like 2020, the season against, was it, no, this is not the season Embiid won. Let me look back at which year it was. One of those years, he just had kind of like he's just as good. Yeah, 2021. He got second, or 2022, 2023. He got second in MVP. 24 points, 11 boards, almost 12, 9 assists, almost 10. Got second in MVP behind Joel Embiid. He's not having one of those seasons now. They're going to be a top team in the West, and his stats are going to be better. So it's at the point now where he's not going to get second in MVP because the stats are so good. One of the reasons he got second in MVP because if I'm not mistaken, they went on to win the finals that year, but because they were so good, Jokic wasn't able to do as much statistically, or he didn't have to do as much, I should say, statistically. This year, the team isn't as good, so he's having to put the load on himself, and usually he has slow starts, and then he goes crazy at the end of the season. We're in December, and he's already putting up career numbers, so in my opinion, it's only going to get better as long as he stays healthy. So give me Nikola Jokic for MVP. Not going to be unanimous, obviously. It's very difficult. There's always somebody that's going to vote for Giannis, Brunson, whoever the hell is here. But I think it's seriously, I don't even think at this point it's going to be remotely close. Moving on. Defensive Player of the Year, I think this is another one that a lot of us are largely going to agree with. I went with Victor Wembanyama. Let me double check the defensive stats here, make sure I'm not saying anything wrong about him, but I believe he's actually doing even better than he was last year in terms of defensive stats. He is averaging just about the same blocks, just about the same steals. So I was wrong about that, but there's no Rudy Gobert to compete with this year. The reason Rudy Gobert won last year was because the team defense for the Spurs was not good. Team defense for the Timberwolves was unbelievable. Number one defense in the NBA, a game away from being the one seed in the Western Conference. they gave it to Gobert. Gobert also had kind of defensive stats to back it up, although Wemby's definitely were better. This year, I don't think it's going to have a dispute. There are good teams. The Spurs have to remain a half-decent team, I think, if Wemby wants to win this, because there are teams like Cleveland and Memphis who have Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, guys that are going to put up cases if their team defense is really, really good. But if Wemby can keep his team, near that plane in the Western Conference, keep these stats, 3.5, 1.2 steals, I don't see a world in where he's not going to win the Defensive Player of the Year. I also predicted him to win MIP. I'm not thinking him anymore. I was kind of expecting a bigger jump, more like 25 points per game, even a block jump, which, again, there's still a lot of time left in this season for him to make a point jump or a block jump. But I don't think he's going to win MVP or MIP at the moment. But we'll talk about who I picked a little more just in a few picks here. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Let me know what you guys think, because I think there's probably some of you that are going to have like a Jaren Jackson or an Evan Mobley on there. Rookie of the Year. This is definitely going to be the most disputed. There's no questions asked about it. I personally went with Stephon Castle. I believe he's second on the ladder right now in the Rookie of the Year. I picked him over Jared McCain. Jared McCain is currently first, and I am going to try to prove to you guys why I decided to do that. Looking at Stephon Castle's season this year. Currently, he's averaging 12, 2.5 boards, 3.8 assists, just about 4. Let me walk you through why. Early on in the season, Stephon Castle, all of his worst games, 18 minutes, 25 minutes, 17, 20, 20, 15, 20, 25, 25. Then, his best game happens in that last 25-minute game I said. He had 14 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Since then, he has not played a game he's played one game, less than 25 minutes. He is getting 30-plus minutes a night and slowly watching those averages climb. Listen to these last... Actually, let's just do the averages. I don't want to go listing out 10 games. Listen to the averages of roughly the last 10 games. These are the last 9 games for him. 31 minutes a night. He's shooting ridiculously inefficient from the field. 39%, 28% from 3. So you'd think his stats would be bad? Absolutely not. 16 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal per game. That's with bad efficiency. If he fixes the efficiency, he's going to average real close to 18, 19 points per game. He's already moving his way up into 12s. He's playing much more significant minutes, much bigger minutes, and I don't see that stopping, if I'm being completely honest. As long as the Spurs stay in it, he's going to play, and it would take them being really, really, really bad for him to not play, I think, if that makes sense. Like, as long as they're going to be remotely in the plan, they're not just going to sit some of the young guys because, we want to make sure, they're healthy for next year. We don't want to ruin them or anything. He's going to play. So, Stephon Castle, in my opinion, is going to win Rookie of the Year. He is not the favorite right now. If the season ended today, I'm not picking him, but he is going to. He is going to win Rookie of the Year. That is my prediction. The stats are slowly moving up, more and more and more. He just dropped 22 the other night against New Orleans. The assist numbers are very consistent between 3 and 7 every single night. The points are very consistent between about 12 to 20 every single night. And the efficiency has not been good. If that moves up, and I talked about this all the way back in a video I made about rookies at the very, very, before the season. I said for Stephon Castle to have a good rookie season, the one thing he needs to find is the shooting. That is what I said. He has not found it yet, and he's still having a good rookie season. If he finds the shooting at any point throughout the season and can pull it up to the season being, 32% from 3, definitely realistic, a 4% jump over the course of the next 60 games, I don't think it's going to be close that he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Jalen Wells, Jared McCain, very good. McCain's numbers, I think, are going to go down with Tyrese Maxey and stuff coming back. Paul George, Embiid, all that. Jalen Wells' numbers, I don't think are going to go down, but I think we've seen close to the best of him, at least in his rookie year so far. Castle, I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. The efficiency still can improve. Give me Stephon Castle to win Rookie of the Year. Moving on to MIP, we are halfway through the awards. These next 3, one of them I'm going to be pretty quick on because I don't think it's too debatable. And then the other one of them's kind of debatable. One of them's not debatable in my opinion. and then one of them is definitely kind of up for debate, and that's this one right here, and that's MIP. There are so many different people. I don't know how long Franz Wagner is going to be out, but he is the obvious candidate for MIP here, and he's who I picked. If he is out for only like a month, like Paulo was, I know that's supposed to disqualify you from awards, right? If you don't play the 65 game threshold or whatever, but you can put in disputes about that, right? If Franz ends up playing 58, 59, 60 games, and he just missed, say 20, which I don't even think he'll miss that much early on in the season, I think he has a good case to get that 65 game threshold waived, and I think he's going to win MIP. There's a lot of other people. Jalen Johnson is up there again. Dyson Daniels, his teammate, is up there. But I like Franz here. The one guy that I think could sneaky get in there is Norman Powell. He has been phenomenal when he's been healthy, but he also has had injury problems. I got him in fantasy basketball. I've seen it more than most people. He has been injured. So if Norman Powell can stay healthy and Franz Wagner can stay healthy, I think both of those guys are two very legitimate candidates. I personally am taking Franz, though. I think he's going to miss a little over a month, kind of like what we're seeing from Paulo right now. And hopefully, he gets back, he gets close to that 65 game threshold, and he's able to put himself up for awards, because I don't think this season should go unnoticed. I don't think he's going to be an all-star anymore, right? He's going to miss some of the main time to put up stats to be an all-star, over the course of the next month or two, but not enough to not be considered for awards, in my opinion. Give me Franz Wagner to an MIP. Sixth man of the year. This is the one that I said is pretty undebatable. Give me Peyton Pritchard. What a season from Peyton Pritchard. I talked about him very briefly in my original award prediction video. I kind of glossed over him, and I really regret it now, because he has waited for his chance to play. He damn near left Boston to be able to not be a six man. He damn near left, and he decided to stay. They convinced him to stay. He's on a really team-friendly deal, and he's putting up a career year. He's never even averaged 10. He's averaging 16 this year. He's like it's just the definition of six man. He is absolutely perfect. He has won them games off the bench. And you know what? Throw his name in MIP too. I don't care. Throw his name in MIP. He's never averaged 10 points. Never. He's shooting 43% from three, nearly 17 points on the season. Put this man in MIP candidacy too. Seriously, I'd honestly, if I had to pick right now for MIP, he might be my runner-up, or who I think might finish second, or my dark horse, whatever. He has to be on there, even if I don't have him winning right now. This is the very definition of a most improved season. The minutes has gone up by 6 extra minutes. Just 6 extra minutes. And in those 6 extra minutes, he is averaging 7 extra points per game. He's having the most efficient season he's ever had. He's shooting his best percentage from three ever. He's played every game, if I'm not mistaken, or close to it. Maybe not every single game, but definitely very close to it. I think he has played every game, actually. Yeah, he has. All 25 games for the Boston Celtics he's been a part of. He hasn't started one. Sixth man of the year, Peyton Pritchard. Undebatable to me. I don't think you can debate against it. If you want to give a shout out to someone, do it in the comments. But Peyton Pritchard is the sixth man of the year. And he's honestly, the more I think about it, an MIP candidate. Last award on the day. We have Coach of the Year. This one I debated about because, again, you kind of want to predict. Like some of these things I'm kind of predicting, like Castle, I'm kind of predicting to become Rookie of the Year. Jokic, I'm saying like he's just MVP right now. But for this, I'm basing it on a little bit of both, to be completely honest. I don't think it's going to Mark Daigneault, right? The Western Conference is amazing, and the Thunder are amazing in that Western Conference, and it looks like they're going to comfortably be the 1 seed as long as everything goes not bad. Even without Chet, they're still holding firm in that 1 seed spot. So if they get Chet back, they're easily going to win. Like I said, I think they're going to be a 60-win team pretty comfortably. So Mark Daigneault definitely has a case, but I just don't think he's going to win it. I think it's going to go to one of the Eastern Conference coaches. Joe Mazzulla and Kenny Atkinson. They're looking for potential historic seasons. Celtics are looking to be the 1 seed again coming off a finals run where Joe Mazzulla did not win Coach of the Year. He did not win Coach of the Year last season, despite the Celtics being the best team in the NBA, going on to win the finals, all sort of stuff, although the playoffs don't matter, of course. Joe Mazzulla did not win Coach of the Year. He has to be on there. Kenny Atkinson if the Cavs are the 2 seed or better, if they are the 1 or 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, call it off. He's winning Coach of the Year. This is his first ever season coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers as the head coach. The Cavs team was at best a 4 seed, if I'm not mistaken, with the previous coaching regime. Give me Kenny Atkinson here. I have to do it. I still think, I'm still standing by my prediction. I am. That the Knicks are going to overtake the Cavs and become the 2 seed. Boston's going to be 1, the Knicks are going to be 2, the Cavs will be 3. That is my prediction. That is what I'm staying with. The Knicks are 6 games back. It's obviously going to be a little close, right? The Cavs, I think, definitely could be the 2 seed. I'm not saying they're not going to. That's just my prediction. But even with that, Kenny Atkinson's winning Coach of the Year. This team has never even been close to as good as they are right now when they had J.B. Bickerstaff as the coach. The defense, never been this good. The offense, never been this good. Literally, if you want to talk in a literal sense, they are the best team in the NBA right now, on a record perspective. 4 losses. Nobody else has 4 losses. Everybody has 5 or more. They're ahead of the Celtics. This, if you want to call it late, into the season. I think everybody thought the Celtics were going to be the 1 seed from week 2, and that was going to be that. Nope. Do I think the Celtics are going to be the 1 seed? Yep. But you got to give credit where it's due. Give me Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year. What a turnaround for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm really excited to watch them in the playoffs. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love Evan Mobley. I'm really, really hoping they can stay healthy because I want to see some people put up a fight with the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. And I think with teams like Philly kind of bowing out, that teams like the Cavs and a healthy Magic and a healthy Knicks can definitely put up a fight. That does it for my war predictions so far. Let's go ahead and get into the weekly notes. Like I said, very, very short this week because it was pretty much just NBA Cup games and then 1 game on Monday and a couple games, I think 3 on Thursday. Monday game, it was just Knicks Raptors. Literally all that happened in this game was just the cat dagger, to be honest. The Raptors continue to have the most, if you want to call it, ethical rebuild of all time. Ethical tank job. They're 7-19. They played literally everybody on planet Earth close, it feels like. They've beaten good teams. They played close with good teams. But the Knicks do get it done. Knicks were looking great. Kind of some slow stuff here and there over the course of the last week or so. Close game against the Raptors. Obviously losing to the Hawks, which we'll get into. They don't look perfect, but I do think they're going to be okay. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Tuesday, NBA Cup quarterfinals to go to Vegas. First game of the night, we had Bucks against the Magic in Milwaukee. I predicted the Bucks to win this game, and I was correct. I want to give a big shout-out to the Magic, though. I thought this game wasn't even going to be close. Jalen Suggs was phenomenal in this game. Before he fouled out, Goga Bitadze was phenomenal in this game, doing everything the team needed them to do. This is why I think the Magic are going to be good this year and a really competitive team in the Eastern Conference come playoff time. They put an effort like that out against a Milwaukee Bucks team with one of the most dominant players in the NBA on a pretty hot streak. I believe they're like 7-1 in their last 8 going into that game. They're playing in Milwaukee in a legitimate competitive environment, right? The NBA Cup quarterfinal games are pretty much the rowdiest regular season game gets, except for, like Lakers Celtics or something like that. And the Magic kept it real close. And to be honest, they had the lead for most of the game. They could have won this game. Great effort from the Magic. I can't even, denounce the Bucks because they didn't play bad, and the Magic, they played perfectly fine. Giannis was great in this game. 30-point game, if I'm not mistaken. And the Magic played them close. So shout out to the Magic. I'm kind of liking the Bucks to go all the way here. I can't lie, or at least to the NBA Cup. Next game of the night, Thunder play the Mavs. No PJ Washington, and the Thunder took care of business. Pretty dominant. Maybe dominant's not the right word, but pretty comfortable win, I'd say. It just wasn't really close, except for the very, very beginning. There was runs here and there, right? The Mavs were on that run in the second half, kind of pulled it close. But we still have just some stuff going on with Luka that we talked about earlier in the season that's really frustrating as a fan, both of Luka and really anybody in the NBA to watch. It's just It's just laziness, man. He doesn't cut. He doesn't move. If things aren't going well for him, you can just tell the constant complaining, and it's been a problem. And I mentioned this earlier this year. He is on the biggest national stage he has been on. He was in the NBA Finals. Most fans knew about Luka. I'd say every single fan knew about Luka. Even people who weren't NBA fans knew who Luka Doncic was. Now that he's in the NBA Finals, that's even bigger. Everybody knows your name. Everybody. Because when you turn the TV on and go, oh, who's playing in the Finals? They're promoting Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is the best player on the Mavs, all that sort of stuff. And then you turn on a game the next year in the regular season and say, oh, let me watch Luka. I know he was in the finals last year. And you watch something like this, it pisses you off. It does. It really does. And I feel for Mavs fans, because you guys have been saying this for years, and so many people, including myself, kind of were just like, are you seriously complaining you have a type of talent like Luka Doncic you're complaining? You're absolutely right. He's phenomenal. The effort has to improve. It just does. It just does. Thunder take care of business. No Chet. They look just as dominant. Give them credit. Phenomenal performance from the OKC Thunder. On to Wednesday. Hawks play the Knicks in MSG. And Trae Young does it to him again, man. Trae Young does it to him again. The Hawks are having a very, very good season right now. 14-12. Probably the hottest team in the NBA right now. I mean, they're comfortably clear of the bottom teams in the East right now. They're, 3 games? Yeah, 3 games clear of the Nets, who are the 8th seed. So we're not talking about Atlanta being a play-in team at this point. We're talking about them potentially being a top 6 seed. And I said, when they traded DeJounte Murray, Trae Young is better by himself when he doesn't have another ball-dominant guy. Not that he can't play with another good player, but ball-dominant players are not good for him, and he's proving that. Seriously, incredible stuff from Trae Young. Rolls the dice on the logo. The Hawks upset the Knicks. I'm excited to see them go play in Milwaukee. It's going to be a great, great game. They just played, I think, recently, actually, the Hawks and the Bucks. The Hawks ended the Bucks' winning streak. So it's going to be a really, really fun game to watch. I'm very excited for that game. To be honest, I think I might be more excited for that game than I am the Rockets-Thunder one, if I'm being completely honest. And speaking of, Houston Rockets win against the Warriors. Controversial ending with that whole loose ball foul situation. But that's the NBA, man. Sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it's not. And it sucks when it doesn't. I've had it go my way. I've had it not go my way for the Timberwolves plenty of times. And it sucks. It does. But you can't dwell on it anymore. I mean, it happened. The Rockets are a good team. They put up a fight. The Rockets came back in that game. You had the lead late in the fourth quarter. Rockets came back and got the win. Very, very close win, but still got it. And we got Thunder Rockets, a rematch of 1 and 2 in the Western Conference. They were 1 and 2 last time they met. They're 1 and 2 again. I'm excited that they're going to be on national TV this time because the NBA missed out big time in not putting the Thunder and Rockets on national TV last time. We talked about the ratings at some other point if they're going to continue to go down. But that's a conversation, like I said, for a different day. Phenomenal season from the Rockets so far. I'm hoping this isn't a one-season wonder. I'm hoping this is a real Rockets run, and they can stay up in the Western Conference, even if they don't finish 2. I don't think they're going to. I think they're very much more likely to finish like a 5 or a 6 than they are a 2 or a 3, just because of how good the Western Conference is. It's going to be tough because I do expect them to probably go on some stretches where they lose a few games. But just a phenomenal season from Houston. I'm really excited for them, excited for their future. Just got to give them credit. And Thursday, the last day of this week, nothing much to write home about except for Sabonis. Domas Sabonis, 30-point, 20-rebound game, the first of the season the NBA posted out. Nobody's had a 30 and 20 on the year. Phenomenal performance from Sabonis as the Kings try to work their way back up the West, and they're kind of sneaking up there. Now back to 500. It's going to be a season of up and downs for all those teams at the bottom of the West. Pretty much Clippers all the way down to the Kings. So 6 down to 13, or down to 12, is just going to be up and down, just chaotic the entire year long. Even teams up top, we could see the Mavericks and Grizzlies go on some losing streaks, drop themselves down in the conference. So I'm probably going to overreact to some of those things, like I have with the Kings. I said the Kings were cooked and they're not going to be out of the Western Conference anymore. They're not going to make the playoffs at all. And, here they are, half a game back from being the 9 seed, a full game back from actually being the 7 seed. So that's how close the Western Conference is. But yeah, nothing much to talk about on Thursday other than that phenomenal performance from Sabonis. And we've made it to the end of the episode. As always, if you made it to the end, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. I really, really do appreciate it. If you are watching over on YouTube, be sure to check out the podcast over on Spotify. Look up Around the World. Look up Wordy Boss 30. You will find me. If you are listening over on Spotify, you want to check out the YouTube, it is same thing. Look up Around the World, look up Wordy Boss 30. You will find me. Leave a like, leave a comment, absolutely anything. Review, positive review, answer a question, ask a question, anything. I'm open to reading and liking every single comment I see, whether it's positive or negative or just a critical review about the channel or podcast as a whole. Once again, if you guys made it to the end, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on Monday for episode 19.